PeacePlayers is where we met and where we work now, is an organisation that uses sport as a tool to unite, educate and inspire young people across Northern Ireland and now actually across the globe to bridge divides, whether that's religious divides, racial divides, etc. So actually our managing director is here, Gareth Harper is there on our screen, and one of our previous American fellows, Life, is also here. So I grew up on the Ardoyne interface. I grew up on the Protestant side. I grew up in Upper Ardoyne and went to primary school in Wheatfield. In 2008, PeacePlayers came into Wheatfield, and that's when I met Rachel. Since then, we've kind of been working together on different programs. We've came the whole way up through the organisation, and now we're coaches. Rachel went to the Catholic primary school, literally a stone throw. I don't know if you know where Wheatfield Holy Cross is, but it's quite literally a street apart. Probably social distancing actually apart in COVID times. But she came in, we met, we started talking about the hard topics, the tough hitting topics. I decided to run with it, as did Rachel. We are where we are now. I am now in uni studying sports and exercise science, and actually had the courage to pick up camogie thanks to PeacePlayers. Decided to just run with it and was like, you know what, while we're breaking down divides using basketball, why not me actually do what I'm telling the kids to do and jump into a new sport? And I did. I'll pass over to Rachel now to continue.
Okay, so I am Rachel, believe it or not. But I also came up, I went to Holy Cross Girls Primary School, so it's literally just across the street. So I lived in Centre Ardoyne, so up at the top of the road was where all the trouble used to be and stuff. And on outside our schools, but also where the trouble used to be. But I did grow up with AJ. We grew up from primary school. We lost touch a bit, but then we went into PeacePlayers again, and then we were like best friends ever since. So we've been friends from like, I can't even count anymore. It's been loads of years. That's all we know. But the same thing happened with me that what happened to her. So it was like we were basically living the same lives, but like complete opposite. And it's just funny to think about, like we never would have met if it wasn't for PeacePlayers. So now I am also a coach. We came up through the coaches program together as well. And I am currently, well, I've just graduated uni like this year sort of. And now I'm just going to hop into more PeacePlayer stuff and go back into the community and go through the primary schools and help out in delivering programs all over Northern Ireland. So, yeah.
We now have a little video to show you. This video was filmed 2 years ago in the summer, and it kind of goes into a bit more detail about our story. I know we were really vague there because the video quite literally
covers it all.
Speaks for itself. It was actually really, really fun to film when we went to all our like favourite places. So
this place on the surface looks fantastic. It's when you scratch the surface a little bit, you begin to see the underlying issues that are there.
You're taught growing up that you go to this school and you're this, and they go to that school and they're that, and it's just really clear from growing up that you know that there's a difference. You're kind of not really told otherwise.
Back in 2001, Northern Ireland and North Belfast in particular made the world's media for all the wrong reasons.
At first it looked like things might be calmer today.
Right in the middle of that conflict, you have two primary schools located on either side of the Ardoyne Road, literally right beside each other. On one side of the road you have the Catholic primary school, Holy Cross Girls, and on the other side of the road is Wheatfield Primary School, attended predominantly by Protestant kids from the surrounding area.
Parents and children were spat at and abused.
My name's Rachel Madden. I'm 19. I went to Holy Cross Girls Primary School.
My name is AJ, I'm 19, and I went to primary school in Wheatfield, which is just up the street. Basketball, it comes from America. We associate basketball with Americans over here. So just having that sport that doesn't have a religion attached to it was good because you were learning a new sport. This is a really, really class sport, and you can play it with your friends, and we just kind of stuck at it because it was just something new, something different.
Well, I began working with the two girls when they were about 9, 10 years old. I was the head coach on the twinning between Holy Cross Girls and Wheatfield.
When I was 10, I met Rachel. Holy Cross came into Wheatfield, and I remember we were all sitting in the classroom and it was kind of a bit daunting. We were like, what's going on here?
I had a lot of opinions about the other side, which were formed from the neighbourhood which I've grown up in. Going into the twinning programmes, I was terrified. And then as I met AJ, I realised that a lot of stuff that were said weren't true.
The amazing thing about this place is we have these huge walls which divide the two traditions here. Huge walls. But the people living on either side experiencing exactly the same troubles, experiencing exactly the same problems, particularly in areas like where AJ and Rachel go to school.
When we were growing up, like talking about things, like really stupid things, like, oh, I did that too. Like we were basically had the same childhood, but different because I was a Protestant and she was a Catholic.
Why PeacePlayers works here is it creates a safe space where young people from different backgrounds and different traditions can come together, play a sport together, develop relationships and friendships together through playing in integrated teams, and then off the back of that, leverage those relationships that develop on the basketball court to develop real friendships.
Everybody jokes because you don't see us out without the other one. So if you see one, you know the other one's going to be there. Whenever I need something, or whenever she needs something, or just whenever she just needs a friend, or I'll need a friend, like the first person I'd call would be AJ.
We see each other literally every day. I think I went on holiday there for 10 days and it was like I lost my arm. She's just that one person that you know is always going to be there. We're family now, we're beyond friendship.
The really cool thing for us in PeacePlayers is we're about children who play together can learn to live together. Those two guys not only have learned to play together and to live together, but have developed a really strong friendship. But we've also sparked something in them. And that thing that we sparked in them is a want to go back into their own areas and to continue to make a difference in the future. Our aim and our vision is to develop loads and loads of more AJs and Rachels everywhere.
It will take a few generations to get through the legacy of the Troubles, but I think having people like our participants, having people like AJ and Rachel, is the start of a fresh generation that sees more hope, that sees more possibility, that sees more chance for a shared future.
If everyone in PeacePlayers or around Northern Ireland had a similar friendship to AJ's and mine, it would be nice. I think it would be hard at first to try and get everyone together, but I think we could do it with PeacePlayers.
1, 2, 3.
What we try to instill is a sense of responsibility. You have a role here to play in making this place better. And we're going to try to give you some skills, some experiences, and some opportunities to allow you to do that. Your purpose in life is about making a difference and helping to make a difference for those around you. That's absolutely what it's about.
So yeah, that's our story in a bit more detail. And as Gareth said, he completely sparked something on us. We just actually had our 2021-2022 coaches training for the year there on Saturday, and they asked us our whys, and Rachel and I both had a really, really similar why as to why we coach in PeacePlayers and why we actually stuck at it, because we've been in the organisation 13 years now. It must have done something for us, and we always say we want to be the AJ and Rachel that AJ and Rachel needed when they were young. We want to be the two people that we needed. I want to be the coach that I needed when I was 8, 9, 10 years old. I was fortunate enough to have the likes of Joanne and Gareth, but I want to be that coach that I needed. So I think that's us and that's our story.